The whistle pierced the humid Chicago air like a knife, and I blew it harder than I meant to, my lungs burning from the sprint across the court. Jordan froze mid-dribble, the basketball slipping from his fingers and thudding against the cracked asphalt. His dark eyes locking onto mine with a flicker of something raw, fear, maybe, or the ghost of a lie he couldn't bury. "Coach," he said, voice cracking like thunder in the distance. "I can't do this anymore." And in that moment, as the team stared in stunned silence, I realized the debt he'd come to pay wasn't just money. It was his soul, and I just asked him to hand it over. That was the night everything cracked open, but it started weeks earlier, back when the summer heat clung to the south side like a bad habit, and my community league was the only thing keeping a dozen kids from becoming statistics. I'm Alex Rivera, 28, product of these streets myself. Grew up dodging bullets and bad decisions in Englewood. Clawed my way to a scholarship at UIC on a basketball ride that ended too soon with a torn ACL. Now I coach the Ravens, a ragtag AU team of teens I'd scraped together from the rec center, all fire and no funding. We played in rundown gyms and parking lots, chasing dreams on sneakers held together by duct tape. It wasn't glory. It was survival. For them and for me. The debt part? That was my old man's shadow, long and ugly. Dad ran a small auto shop before the cancer took him 5 years back, but he dipped into the wrong pockets to keep it afloat. Loans from Tommy, the knife Russo, a low-level enforcer for the outfit, Chicago's fading mob echo. Dad paid most of it off with sweat and side gigs. But when he died, a chunk lingered like a bad tooth. I ignored the calls at first, buried myself in coaching, but Russo's guys showed up one rainy April night, leaning on my mom's porch like they owned it. Rivera Jr., the big one grunted, toothpick rolling in his teeth. "Time to settle up. 20 grand, or we take it out in pieces." 20 grand. I didn't have it. Mom was nursing part-time at the hospital, scraping by on Medicaid scraps, and my gig at the parts warehouse barely covered rent on our walk-up in Bronzeville. But Russo had a deal, work it off. Not for him directly, too messy, but by running errands that smelled like laundering cash through local businesses. I said no, flat out. That's when he leaned in, breath like stale cigars. "Your mom's got that pretty smile. Be a shame if it faded." Blackmail's an old Chicago handshake, and I shook it, hating every second. Enter Jordan Hayes. I first saw him at the rec center pickup game. A ghost in gray sweats, all lean muscle and quiet fury, sinking threes like he was born with the ball in his veins. 25, he said later, with a fade haircut sharp enough to cut glass and tattoos peeking from his sleeves. Scripture verses twisted around barbed wire, stories he never told. He was good, better than good. He moved like poetry on pavement, reading defenses before they formed. The kids mobbed him after, begging for tips, and for a second his guard dropped. A real smile, the kind that lights up a room. I didn't know then he was Russo's plant. Hired to infiltrate, keep tabs on me, make sure I played ball. Or quit. Jordan joined the Ravens 2 weeks later. No tryout needed. "Heard you need a forward," he said, casual as a summer breeze, lacing up beside me on the bench. I eyed him, too polished for street ball, no scars from the local wars. But the kids loved him instant. He ran drills with patience I envied, breaking down footwork like a sermon, and after practice he'd linger, shooting the shit about old Bulls games, Jordan-era myths. Michael, not him. Funny guy. Trust crept in slow, like fog off Lake Michigan. First practice, he blocked a kid's layup so clean it echoed, then pulled the boy up with a grin. "Feel that sting? That's growth." By week 3, he was my assistant, diagramming plays on napkins from the corner bodega. His handwriting neat loops like he'd studied architecture before life derailed him. We'd grab gyros after, grease dripping on waxed paper, talking dreams deferred. He wanted to coach too, he said, high school level, maybe college. "Seen too many brothers lost to the corners," he murmured one night, eyes on the L train rattling overhead. "Wana Puingbek." I bought it. Hell, I lived it. My own brother, Manny, had ghosted years back, chasing highs in the shadows of Cabrini Green before it got bulldozed. Jordan's stories mirrored mine. Absent dad, mom holding it together with prayers and double shifts. One evening, after a brutal loss to the West Side Wolves, we walked the lakefront, wind whipping off the water, and he confessed the ink on his arm. "Forgive us our debts." From the Lord's Prayer, etched after his sister's overdose. "It's all I got left of faith," he said, voice thick. I nodded, throat tight, and without thinking, clapped his shoulder. "Solid. Real. You're home here, man. Raven's got your back." That touch lingered, electric in the chill air. I'd always known I was gay. Figured it out in the locker room showers at 15. Heart pounding not from the game but from stealing glances at teammates' easy grace. Kept it locked down. Chicago streets don't hand out rainbow flags easy, especially not in the leagues where machismo's the unspoken rule. But Jordan, he saw me. Not the coach, not the debtor's son. The guy who laughed too loud at bad jokes, who hummed Motown under his breath during free throws. One practice, rain slicking the court, he brushed past me demonstrating a crossover, our hands grazing, and the world narrowed to that spark. I pulled back, cheeks hot, but he just smirked. "Steady, coach. We got this." By July, the Ravens were clicking. Undefeated in summer tourneys, kids beaming like they'd cracked the code to the world. Jordan and I were inseparable. Mornings at the gym, evenings plotting over coffee at the diner on 47th. His knee bumping mine under the table, accidental on purpose. The romance bloomed quiet. American as apple pie with a twist, stolen glances during huddles. His laugh warming me more than the sun. First kiss happened after a win against the Northside elites. Confetti from ripped score sheets raining down. We ducked into the equipment shed, hearts hammering, and he tasted like Gatorade and possibility, soft and urgent. "Alex," he whispered against my lips. It's real, right?" I nodded, believing it fierce, because in that moment, the debts and shadows felt a million miles away. But Russo's noose tightened. The errands started small. Drop an envelope at the shop. No questions. I did it for Mom, stomach churning, telling myself it was temporary. Jordan noticed my edge, the way I'd zone out mid-drill, and one night, over stolen beers on my fire escape, he pressed. "What's eating you, man? Talk to me." The words spilled. Dad's ghost, the threats, the grind. He listened, jaw set, then pulled me close, arms a fortress. "We'll fight it together. You're not alone." That vow sealed it. I trusted him complete, handed him pieces of my frayed soul like loose change. Little did I know he was collecting for someone else. The betrayal hit like a fast break you never saw coming. It was mid-August, the air thick with the promise of fall, and we just clinched a spot in the city championships. Ravens versus the world. Baby. The gym erupted, kids piling on like a victory hug from fate, and Jordan hoisted me onto his shoulders, our laughter echoing off the rafters. "We did it, coach!" he yelled, eyes shining brighter than the scoreboard. I ruffled his hair, heart full, thinking this was it, the peak, where debts dissolved in sweat and cheers. That high crashed 2 days later. I got a call from Russo's line, burner phone, voice like gravel. "Your boy's singing, Rivera. But not to you." Confusion first, then ice in my veins. "Meet at the old warehouse on Halsted," he said. "No cops, no games." I went alone, the drive blurring through rain-smeared windows, fists white on the wheel. The place was a relic, chain link rattling in the wind, puddles mirroring sodium lights like broken promises. Russo waited inside, flanked by his toothpick goon, a folding chair creaking under his bulk. "Sit," he barked, and I did, spine straight. "Hayes, Jordan Hayes. Ring a bell." My mouth went dry. Russo slid a folder across the scarred table. Photos, grainy but clear. Jordan shaking hands with a fedora-wearing suit outside a Loop bar, envelopes changing hands. Him on my fire escape, phone to ear, gesturing animated. Timestamps lining up with our closest nights. "He's mine, kid. Planted him 3 months back to watch you squirm. Make sure you pay up nice and slow." Lies. Had to be. But the dates. The way he'd probe gentle about my routes, my contacts. "Nah." I choked out, shoving the folder back. Jordan wouldn't. Russo laughed. A wet hack that turned my stomach. Wouldn't? Boys drowning in his own shit. Brothers in deep with bookies. 50 large on bad horses. I offered a way out, join the team, cozy up, feed me intel. You spill your guts, he spills his. Fair trade. The room spun. Brother. He'd mentioned a sibling once, vague, trouble in Milwaukee, something about cards. I nodded, shared my Manny scar, thinking it bonded us. Betrayal burned hot, then cold. A knife twist in the gut. What now? I whispered, hating the weakness. Russo leaned in, eyes like dead fish. Now you finish the job. One big drop. Launder the take from a Southside casino heist. Do it clean, debt's wiped. Hesitate and your boy walks. Or worse. Oh, and tell him I said thanks. I stumbled out into the downpour, soaked to the bone. The city a smear of neon and regret. Drove straight to the rec center, where Jordan was shooting solos under the floodlights, ball thumping rhythmic like a heartbeat I no longer trusted. He turned, smile fading at my face. Alex? What happened? I threw the photos at his feet, water mixing with the wet paper. You tell me. His color drained, ball forgotten, rolling into the shadows. It's not. God? Alex? Listen. He reached, but I jerked back, the distance a chasm. Words tumbled. His brother Eddie, drowning in gambling hell. Russo's goons breaking fingers as a hello. The offer. Infiltrate the team, monitor me, ease the pressure on Eddie. I didn't want to, he pleaded, voice breaking. Took the gig thinking it'd be surveillance from afar. Then I met you, the kids, the heart of it. I tried to back out, but Russo. He had leverage. Eddie's life. Leverage. I spat, pacing the foul line like it could ground me. You used me. Our nights, my secrets. You fed them to that snake. Tears stung, hot and furious. He sank to the bench, head in hands. At first, yeah. Reports on your drops, your moods. But I stopped. Weeks ago. Lied to him, said you were folding easy. Everything since. The kiss, the promises. That was real. You're real to me. I wanted to believe God. How I did. His eyes, those deep pools I drowned in willingly, begged for absolution. But trust, once shattered, leaves shards. Prove it, I said, voice steel. Help me end this. The big drop set Russo up. Call the feds anonymous. Wire it so he walks into a trap. Jordan's face crumpled. A war raging behind his gaze. If I do, Eddie's dead. Russo doesn't lose loose ends. Silence stretched, rain drumming the roof like judgment. Finally, he nodded, broken. For you, for us, I'll do it. We planned in whispers that night, huddled in my apartment, takeout cold on the counter. Felt like old times, almost his hand on mine, tentative, the spark flickering back. But doubt lingered, a shadow in the corners. The kids noticed the rift next practice. Energy flat, passes sloppy. Little Jamal tugged my sleeve. Where's Jay at? He make us fly. I forced a grin. Soon, kid. Hold tight. The drop was set for Friday. Under the Dan Ryan overpass, neutral ground. Trucks idling like beasts. Jordan's role. Plant the tracker in the cash crate. Signal the tip line. Mine. Play decoy, draw Russo's eyes. We rehearsed till dawn. His touch lingering longer each time. Apologies woven into every glance. Thursday night. Tangled in sheets for what felt like the last time he traced my jaw. If this goes south. No, I fell hard. Harder than the debt ever pulled. I kissed him fierce, memorizing the salt of his skin, whispering, we win this, Jordan, then we start clean. But clean's a luxury Chicago doesn't hand out free. Friday dawned gray, the kind of Midwest steel that presses on your chest. I woke alone. Jordan slipped out before light, muttering about checking on Eddie, tying loose ends. His side of the bed was cool, a premonition I ignored, chalking it up to nerves. The Ravens had a light scrimmage that afternoon, but I called it off, told the kids' family emergency. Lies beget lies, a chain I couldn't break. Mom cornered me in the kitchen, her nurse's scrubs crisp, eyes sharp as scalpels. Mijo, you look like death warmed over. This about the shop again. I deflected with coffee and a hug, but her grip lingered. Whatever it is, end it. For you, not them. She didn't know the half. By noon, I was wired. Met a contact from my UIC days, ex-cop turned PI, who looped in the feds discreet. No badges, just shadows. Unmarked van parked blocks away, ears on every frequency. You pull this? The PI grunted, sliding me a burner. Russo's done? But Hayes, if he's playing both sides, you're collateral. I nodded, stomach nodding. Jordan texted, in position. Love you. Simple words, heavy as lead. I replied, same. Go time. The overpass loomed like a concrete scar. Semis rumbling overhead, exhaust mixing with diesel fumes. I parked the borrowed F-150, courtesy of the shop's last loyal mechanic. Engine ticking cool. Crate in the bed. Duffel stuffed with newsprint wrapped like bills. Tracker blinking silent in the false bottom. Jordan's van idled across the way, nondescript. Him slouched behind tinted glass. Our eyes met through windshields, a nod passing like a prayer. Russo rolled up at 3 sharp, black Escalade purring menace, his goon shotgun. He lumbered out, cigar clamped in teeth, surveying like a king in exile. Rivera, he called, voice booming off girders. You bring the peace offering? I hopped down, casual heart jackhammer. All here, 20K plus interest. Clean slate. He snorted, circling the truck, goon peeling back a duffel. 5s and 10s fluttering realistic. Smells right. Your boy's work paying off. A glance at Jordan's van, casual, but it landed like a slap. I forced steady. Yeah, team effort. We loaded his trunk slow. Small talk on the Bears' dismal season. Every second stretching eternal. Jordan's signal should have hit by now, the text to the burner. Cue for the van to roll. Nothing. Sweat beaded my neck. Not from heat. Russo clapped my back. Too hard. Good boy. That's dust. He slid in, engine growling to life, and peeled south. Taillights fading into traffic haze. Panic clawed. I bolted to Jordan's van, yanking the door. Empty. Keys in ignition. Phone on the seat. Screen cracked. Last message from me unanswered. Jordan. Echoes mocked me. The PI's radio crackled. No ping. He's ghosted. Betrayal round 2 sharper, a gut punch. He'd bailed. Taken the crate, real cash? No, we'd faked it all, but the tracker led nowhere. Or did it? I snatched the phone. Dialed Eddie's line from Jordan's contacts. Voicemail. It's Hayes. Leave it. Dusk fell fast. City lights winking cruel. I drove blind, ending at the lakefront. Our spot, benches scarred with lovers' initials. Sat there till stars pricked the sky, replaying every touch, every lie. He'd played me perfect. The vulnerability, the passion, all bait on Russo's hook. Or worse, double agent to the end, saving his brother by selling me out final. Tears came then, hot and unbidden. Waves crashing indifferent below. How do you mourn what you never fully had? The Ravens' texts lit my phone. Coach, where you at? We need the play. Jamal again, innocent anchor. I dragged home. Crashed hard. Dreams tangled in hoops and handcuffs. Saturday blurred, gym empty, echoes mocking. Mom brought tamales, silent worry in her eyes. Call him, Alex. Whatever broke it. Fix. But I couldn't. Pride or pain. Same difference. Sunday, game day. Championships at the United Center Annex. Big lights. Scouts in the stands. Kids showed without me calling. Loyal like that. Warming up sloppy, glances darting for Jordan. He didn't come. I coached on autopilot, voice hoarse, calling plays that felt hollow. We led by 5 at half, but the Wolves pressed hard, exploiting our gaps. Third quarter, Jamal twisted an ankle clean, but he iced it grim. We missed Jay, coach. He steadied us. Halftime huddle, circle tight. I broke. Not the full story. Debts and deceit too dark for 12-year-olds. But the heart. Guys, life's got fouls you can't call. People leave, but we don't quit the game. For each other. Nods rippled. Fire reigniting. We pushed back. Clawed a win by 2. Buzzer beater from Little Maria. Fists pumping skyward. Post-game. Hugs sticky with sweat. And for a breath, the world righted. But Monday shattered it. Russo's goon at my door. Face bruised. Toothpick snapped. Hayes fucked us. Crate was hot. Feds swarmed an hour out. Russo's raging. My blood froze. What? Goon sneered. Your boy flipped. Tipped and perfect. Eddie's safe in witness protection. Courtesy Uncle Sam. But Russo's loose, and you're the loose end now. He shoved a note, Jordan's scrawl. I'm sorry. Had to choose. Run. Relief warred with rage. He'd done it, betrayed Russo, saved us both. But at what cost? I packed a bag that night, Mom's protests fading behind. Go to your aunt in Milwaukee. Wait it out. The road north unwound dark. Radio humming low. Stevie Wonder. Ironic cruel. Isn't she lovely? Dawn broke over the state line. A new start or exile, I couldn't tell. Weeks bled into months. Milwaukee was quiet. Cousin's couch. Temp gigs at a YMCA. Coaching peewees who didn't know my scars. The Ravens texted sporadic. Wins. Losses. Jamal's brace off. No word from Jordan. Russo's shadow faded. Feds pinched him in a sting. Headlines buried in the trib debt dissolved. But the hole in me gaped. Thanksgiving. Frost on the windows. A knock rattled the door. Mom, visiting, answered. Her gasp pulled me up. There he stood, duffel slung, eyes hollowed by miles. Alex. One word. A bridge. I froze in the hall, heart thundering. You chose. He nodded, stepping in hesitant. Eddie first. But you. Every day since. Mom vanished discreet, leaving us raw. We talked till midnight. His flight, the feds' deal, nights in motels dodging tails. The betrayal? A mask for survival, love the truth beneath. I almost quit, he admitted, voice rough. After the drop, thought you'd hate me forever. But the team, you, pulled me back. I crossed the room, tentative, our hands finding each other. You did quit. On them. For us. His laugh broken sweet. Worth it. Winter gripped Milwaukee like a grudge. Snow piling drifts against the windows. But inside Aunt Rose's bungalow, warmth simmered tentative. Jordan crashed on the couch those first nights. Our conversations circling like wary cats. Probing edges, testing fractures. He'd landed a gig at the Y2, assistant to the high school coach, his easy way with kids a balm for my bruised trust. We'd pass in the hall, shoulders brushing, sparks jumping but unspoken. The kids noticed, ribbing gentle. Coach Alex got a shadow now. Laughter bridged gaps words couldn't. Christmas Eve, the city blanketed white. We walked the river walk, lights strung like stars fallen low. His breath fogged the air, mingling mine. Missed this, he said, gloved hand finding mine. I squeezed, the thaw starting. Missed you. Back home, eggnog spiked light, Aunt Rose's empanadas steaming, we confessed fuller. His brother's story unfolded raw. Eddie, the golden boy turned ghost, debts spiraling from poker dens to Russo's web. Jordan's choice, spy or watch family shatter, had haunted him since spring. Every report I filed felt like poison, he murmured, fire crackling low. But falling for you? That was the antidote I didn't deserve. I shared my ghosts too. Manny's disappearance, the ache of empty bleachers, Dad's lessons in grit twisted by greed. Vulnerability stripped us bare, romance rekindling slow, a ember fanned careful. New Year's, countdown ticking on a borrowed TV. We kissed under mistletoe, Aunt Rosa hung sly, soft at first, then deep, the world narrowing to us again. This time, I whispered, forehead to his. No debts between. He nodded, vow sealed in the dawn. Spring thawed the ice and with it, decisions. The Ravens called championship rematch, needed their coaches home. Jordan hesitated, eyes on the horizon. Chicago's a minefield. Russo's crew might sniff us out. But the kids' voices echoed in voicemails, insistent, and my heart tugged south. We drove back Memorial Day weekend, top down on a rust bucket Civic, wind whipping stories from our lips. Bronzeville welcomed wary. Mom's hug fierce, the rec center humming familiar. The team mobbed us at the lot, Jamal bear hugging Jordan. Thought you dipped for good, Jay. He ruffled the boy's hair, voice thick. Never, little man. Team's family. Coaching tandem felt right, our rhythms syncing like old lovers. Me on strategy, him on spirit. We won the rematch handily. Wolves crumbling under our press. The annex roaring approval. Post-game, beers at the dive on 63rd. Toasts to second chances. But shadows lingered. Russo's trial loomed summer. Whispers of retaliation in the wind. Jordan tensed at night, scanning streets, and I'd wake to his pacing, pulling him back to bed with murmurs. We're building now, I'd say, his head on my chest. Brick by brick. Summer tourney circuit kicked off hot. Buses rattling to Indiana, Ohio, the road a ribbon of possibility. One night in Cleveland, motel neon buzzing. He proposed quiet. Not rings, but dreams. Move in? Your place or find new. Make it ours. Joy surged, tangled with fear. Yeah, I breathed, sealing it with a kiss that promised forever. Back in Chicago, we boxed his Milwaukee stash, Mom beaming over paella dinner. 2 sons now, she teased, eyes misty. But climax brewed, inevitable as lake effect storms. August, peak heat. Russo's verdict dropped. 20 to life, sealed tight. His crew scattered, but one loose thread. Tommy's nephew, Vinny, a hothead enforcer who dodged the net. Whispers reached me at the warehouse. Vinny gunning for payback, targeting the rat and his handler. Jordan, me. We doubled down. Feds assigned a tail, discreet, but paranoia crept. Practices amped tense. My calls sharper. Jordan's smiles forced. The hit came Labor Day weekend, tourney finals in Gary. We'd crushed semis, kids electric, but en route to the hotel our van swerved. A black Charger clipping the bumper, spinning us into a ditch. Glass shattered, screams pierced, but we righted. No major wrecks, just bruises and a shredded tire. Vinny's face leered from the fleeing car, confirmed by the PI's callback. It's on. He's unraveling. Adrenaline crash hit hard. Hotel lobby, team huddled, Jordan's arm around Jamal. Soothing shakes. We're good. He lied smooth, but his eyes met mine, steel resolve. That night, feds bunked with us. Vests optional. The room a war council. Vinny's solo now, the agent said, maps unrolled. Desperate. We bait him. Jordan volunteered instant. Use me. Draw him out. No. Fierce, primal. Not alone. Compromise, joint sting, rec center as stage. Fake practice, me vulnerable, him shadowed. Suspense coiled tight. Monday, gym packed false, scouts, parents, undercover woven seamless. I ran drills wooden, heart pounding. Every shadow Vinny's ghost. Jordan lurked sidelines, casual, but his gaze tracked lethal. Halftime water break. It snapped. A figure in hoodie bursting doors, pistol glinting, bellowing, Hayes, you fucking traitor. Chaos erupted, kids diving, whistles shrilling. Jordan lunged, tackling low, the shot cracking wild into ceiling tiles. Feds swarmed, cuffs clicking, Vinny's curses fading under boots. Aftermath blurred. Statements, hugs, the team shell-shocked but unbroken. Vinny hauled off, last thread snipped. We collapsed on the bench that night, gym empty, echoes settling. Jordan's lips split, my ribs bruised, but alive. Almost quit again, he joked weak, head on my shoulder. I chuckled, sore. Not without me. Fall brought healing, routines rooting deep. We moved into a walk-up near the lake. Views of freighters, rent split fare. Mornings, coffee shared, his feet tangling mine under the table. The Ravens thrived, Jordan's drills infusing grace. My strategies steel. One November dusk, walking the promontory, he stopped, breath visible. Marry me, Alex. Not today, but soon. Make the debts official, yours, mine, ours. Tears pricked, joy pure. Yes, all in. Winter's second round softened. Snow falling gentle now, blanketing scars. Engagement news spread quiet. Mom's tamale parties. Aunt Rose's cross-country calls. The team's banner in the gym. Coach Alex plus Coach Jay. Fouling out together. Laughter healed. A balm on old wounds. Jordan and I planned simple. A spring courthouse due. Backyard vows with the kids as ring bearers, gyros for the feast. No frills, just us, American as the flag snapping over the courts. But humanism's the quiet pulse. The growth beneath glamour. Vinny's bust cracked wider. Testimonies from low-level guys. Deals crumbling like dry leaves. Eddie surfaced cautious. Clean in Ohio. Sending Jordan a letter. Brother, you saved me twice. Pay it forward. He did, started a youth forum at the Y, ex-gamblers sharing war stories, pulling kids from the edge. I joined, voice steady, weaving my debts into lessons. Fouls happen. Call M. Learn. Keep playing. Russo's empire folded final. Headlines fading. But the Real win was personal. Manny called one March thaw, voice gravelly from years gone. Heard you're a big shot now. With a guy. Shock. Then flood. He'd bottomed out in Seattle, rehabbed slow, watching from afar. We met neutral, a diner off I-94. Forks clinking awkward. Proud of you, little bro, he said, eyes wet. Didn't know how to say it then. Forgiveness flowed easy, a debt repaid in presence. Jordan squeezed my hand under the table, anchor silent. Spring bloomed riotous, lake breezes carrying promise. Wedding day, April Fool's twist, courthouse steps under cherry petals, mom fussing ties, Jamal fidgeting with the rings. Jordan in a slim suit, tattoos peeking like secrets shared, his vow simple. You pulled me from the bench, Alex. I'll run the court with you always. Mine echoed, choked. From debts to dreams, you're my championship. Rings slid cool, kiss sealing under cheers, the city our witness. Honeymoon was road trip, Milwaukee to Madison, kitsch stops and stolen courts, shooting fades at dusk. Back home, life layered rich. Coaching double duty, nights cooking bad paella, laughing over spills. The Ravens aged up, some graduating to varsity, tears at send-offs. You two changed the game, one said, diploma fresh. We nodded, humble mirrors to our own salvage. Years unspooled kind. Jordan's high school gig bloomed, state semis twice. I climbed to rec director, funding trickling for new hoops. Eddie visited summers, uncle to our nieces and nephews. The team kids, family forged. Mom retired graceful, volunteering at the center, her smile unshadowed. We adopted a rescue mutt, Buster, who chased balls with Jordan's zeal, slept at our feet. One anniversary, 5th lakefront picnic, he pulled a photo, yellowed, us post-win, arms slung easy. Remember when I almost quit? I traced his face, lines softer now. You didn't. We didn't. He kissed my temple, wind whispering agreement. Betrayal's echo? Faint scar, story for campfires. How trust rebuilds stronger. Love the ultimate payoff. Chicago's pulse thrummed on. Horns, L clatter, dreams deferred and chased. We ran it together. No debts unpaid, hearts full. In the end, the game's not winning. It's showing up, fouled and fierce, for the ones who make it matter. Humanism wins quiet. A hand held, a court cleared, a second chance sunk clean. And in that swish, we're free.